What if the main six fell into hell, and each of them joined different rings in the Helluverse? Today, I'm showing off my newest fusion project combining My Little Pony characters with creatures and themes from the Helluverse. But instead of just making random redesigns, I wanted every fusion to actually fit the character's personality, flaws, strengths, and visual identity. Each character is tied to one of the 7 rings of hell, a Helluverse species, and a completely reworked color palette and silhouette. I wanted these designs to feel like they could genuinely exist in HazbinHotel or Helluva Boss, while still being instantly recognizable as the main 6. So, let's go through each design and break down why I chose them. Starting with Rarity, I turned her into a succubus tied to greed and vanity. And honestly, this one kinda designed itself. Out of all of the main 6, Rarity already has the energy of a Helluverse succubus. She's elegant, dramatic, charming, fashionable, and knows exactly how to present herself. But I didn't want her to just look pretty. I wanted her to feel dangerous too. So I sharpened her silhouette, gave her larger horns, narrowed the eyes, and leaned way harder into the high-fashion demon aesthetic. For the palette, I kept her iconic purples and blues, but shifted them colder and more luxurious. I also added heavy black and white contrast to make her feel more like Helluverse royalty. The feather details and jewelry were inspired by couture fashion mixed with predatory demon designs. And as for her ring placement, I chose greed and vanity because it just made sense. Rarity loves luxury, beauty, recognition, and status, even if she still has a generous heart underneath it all. Next is Fluttershy, and I decided to make her a hellhound from the Sloth Ring. This one felt weirdly perfect because hellhounds in the Helluverse are usually more isolated, anxious, emotionally guarded, or overlooked. And I felt like that matched Fluttershy's personality surprisingly well, especially considering how she acts in the first couple seasons of My Little Pony. I also didn't want sloth to mean lazy, even though that's like the definition of it in the universe. I interpret it more as emotional exhaustion, avoidance, and wanting to retreat from overwhelming situations. And I felt like that connects really well with Fluttershy's tendencies to hide from conflict. So for colors, I desaturated her usual palette and added pale greens and muted tones inspired by the eerie aesthetic of the Sloth Ring. I also made her silhouette softer and smaller compared to everyone else. The oversized clothing and fishnets were inspired by Hellhound streetwear while still keeping her shy personality intact. I wanted her to feel timid but not threatening. Now, Rainbow Dash as a Wrath Ring imp. Think about it. This one was kind of inevitable. Imps in the Helluverse are chaotic, loud, competitive, aggressive, and constantly trying to prove themselves. And who does that remind you of? I based her specifically on Wrath Ring imps, so I made her silhouette much sharper and more angular. The striped horns, exaggerated grin, and sharper shapes to help all push that aggressive energy. For the colors, I kept her rainbow hair recognizable, but made it more neon and intense to feel more infernal instead of softer. I also added a darker contrast around the outfit to make the bright colors hit harder. One thing I really wanted to capture with Rainbow Dash was the classic Helluverse attitude. She's confident to the point of arrogance sometimes. She rushes into danger without thinking, and she constantly needs to prove that she's the best. And that personality fits in the Wrath Ring perfectly, because Wrath characters tend to solve everything through competition, aggression, or action first. If Rainbow Dash actually existed in the Helluverse, I honestly think she'd either be some kind of racer in the Wrath Ring, or she'd work as muscle for someone powerful. I could totally see her getting into constant fights because someone insulted her ego, but at the same time, she would probably become weirdly respectful because of how fearless she is. Applejack was probably the hardest character to figure out because I didn't want her to lose that grounded, dependable personality. So I ended up making her a Baphomet-inspired demon tied to the Envy Ring. And I know Envy sounds strange for Applejack, but hear me out. Applejack constantly puts pressure on herself to live up to her family legacy and expectations. She compares herself to the version of herself she thinks she's supposed to be, and that kind of internalized envy feels really interesting for her. One more thing I do want to mention about Applejack's design is that I know she has similarities to Belphegor's aesthetic from Helluverse, but she has the softer farm animal features, the heavy wood wool textures, and more natural earthy look that people might immediately connect to the sloth ring. But I did that intentionally because I wanted her to feel connected to the livestock and agricultural imagery without fully tying her to sloth itself. Applejack is a character who has always represented hard work, responsibility, and persistence. So putting her directly in the sloth ring honestly felt wrong for her personality. She's probably the least lazy of all the characters in MLP. That's why I decided to place her in Envy instead. Instead of the pale, medical greens and sleepy muted tones, I leaned into the harvest colors, orange, brown, wheat yellow, dusty greens, to make her feel more tied with the farmland and labor. So even though she visually shares some traits with Belphegor-inspired designs, actual themes behind the characters are completely different. Honestly, I think Applejack was super fun to draw, but what do you guys think? Do you think Envy fits her, or would you have placed her in a different ring? Let me know down in the comments. Next up, we have Pinkie Pie. I decided to make her a Gluttony Ring Jester Demon. This design was so much fun because Pinkie Pie already feels like chaos incarnate. I based her off of the clownfish duo Glitz and Glam from Helluva Boss because their designs are colorful, theatrical, chaotic, and slightly terrifying, which honestly fits Pinkie Pie perfectly. For Gluttony, I didn't just think about food, I thought about excess. Too much color, too much energy, and too much stimulation. And Pinkie Pie embodies all of that. I wanted Pinkie Pie to feel overwhelmingly visual, so compared to others, I pushed her proportions way further. Her limbs stretchier, her expressions are exaggerated, and her silhouette feels less stable and controlled. I really wanted her to look like she's constantly in motion, like she physically cannot stay still. And the color palette was really important here too, because Pinkie Pie already has an extremely bright design in MLP, but the Helluverse colors are usually way more intense and high contrast. So instead of the soft candy colors, I pushed everything into hyper-saturated neon tones. The pinks are brighter, the yellows are harsher, and the teals clash. I wanted the design to feel like a sensory overload. I also leaned heavily into the jester and clown imagery because Pinkie Pie already acts like a performer. She's constantly entertaining people, throwing parties, making jokes, and turning everything into a spectacle. But in Helluverse, clowns and jesters usually have an unsettling edge to them, so I wanted her smile to feel a little too big, like she's fun but mildly terrifying. And finally, we have Twilight Sparkle. For Twilight, I've used her with the Goetia, and honestly, this might be my favorite design in the lineup. The Goetia in Helluverse are powerful demon royalty known for their intelligence, magic, and status, and I feel like that fits Twilight perfectly. She already is the most magical and intelligent characters in MLP, and she literally becomes royalty at the end of Season 3. So instead of making her chaotic or monstrous, I wanted her to feel regal and intimidating. I gave her a taller, thinner silhouette inspired by characters like Octavia and Stolas. I made the wings much larger so she completely dominates the frame, and inspired by her gaining her wings at the end of Season 3. For her color palette, I stayed close to Twilight's original colors but made them darker and more cosmic. I used deeper purples, blues, and magentas to make her feel more mysterious and celestial, and the galaxy effect in the feathers is meant to reference both space and magic. I also made her expression colder and more emotionally detached because I feel like the idea of becoming a Goetia royalty would amplify her obsession with knowledge and perfection. And for her ring, I placed her in pride, not because Twilight is selfish, but because pride fits her constant need for success, to be right, and to prove herself. A huge part of Twilight's character is the pressure she puts on herself to be perfect, and I think that connects really well to the pride ring. Lastly, I really want her to feel calm, controlled, and almost unsettling compared to the more chaotic energy of the other designs, and I think that's why the Goetia fusion works so well for her. And that is my Helluverse Main 6 fusion lineup so far. So every species, color palette, silhouette, and ring placement were chosen to reflect something deeper about their personalities. And seriously, thank you guys so much for the support lately and subscribing. Seeing people enjoy these redesign videos has genuinely been really motivating. We're getting really close to 500 subscribers, so if you do enjoy these redesigns, then make sure to subscribe because it seriously helps out the channel. And before you go, I want you to comment what your favorite fusion was down in the comments. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.